what it was. It was like this little metal object. Yes, you can move if you need to, because you are blinded by the light. So I don't know if you were just trying to raise your hand. You can just bump back if you want to. So today we're talking about systems of equations. So we're going to head our note systems of equations. But before we dive into talking about who is going to take this amazing opportunity to sell Whatsits, we, on this week, are going to start talking about systems of equations. Today I will give you some time to work on the unit test. That is in Khan Academy. We're doing our work on paper, obviously. Your math notebook, so essentially what you're writing on when we take notes in class, is due Thursday. And we're going to head our piece of paper, systems of equations. Nick.
What's it made of?
Well, the What's It from church camp was made of metal. I know, that's less of a fun answer than I think you want. So systems of equations. Today is the 19th, but the more important question is what's in a What's It?
Who knows?
I do.
Usually,
A What's It was actually a waterproof match holder because we lit all of our fires at church camp with matches. So it was a little waterproof canister that just when we got there, we're like, what is a What's It? And so we'd pass it around a circle and you'd say like, hi, I'm Micah and this is a What's It? Nick? Here's a What's It? And Nick would say, hi, I'm Nick. Micah says this is a What's It? And you'd pass it around the room. And you keep repeating all the people that came before you. So by the end of the circle, you have like 15 people that you have to say, and it's really difficult. Yeah, that's the What's It game. So Kelly is going to sell my What's It. So Kelly, hold your question for just a second because I feel like it's mildly off topic, which is totally fine. But Kelly's profit, we're going to model with K. Kelly's profit is a function of What's It's sold. Now, Kelly gets the very special startup deal today of just having to pay $500 to go into business with me. But that's fine because you get your startup What's It's, right? Pretty soon at your house, you're going to get a box of beautiful What's It's that you can go around and sell to everybody because, of course, everybody wants a What's It. So you're obviously going to gain money as you sell your What's It's, right? Yeah. So Kelly, you have a really high demand on your What's It's, and you're like, I'm just going to sell my What's It's for $20. Now, you're going to run yourself out of business. Like, you won't be able to sell anything. Who else wants to sell What's It's with me? Come on, it's a great business investment. UConn scheme. All right, Mr. Tack. So, are the Tacks going to go into business together, or are you going to go into? No. Ben, you don't want to go into business?
No, I'm just owning him.
Darn it, because A is a little bit okay. We can say A. So AJ, where's the J come from? Is it James? John? I was about to say James Joseph. Because I'm Joseph. So my mom was like, well, people can call you MJ if you want. I'm like, nah. Because Micah is kind of a weird name. You know, like you don't hear it very often. So my mom was like, well, if you want to be called. All right, but here's the problem, AJ. You were not the first person to take me up on this amazing business opportunity. So unfortunately, I have to charge you a little bit more money to join our business venture. So $700.
Oh, dang.
So AJ's like, well, it's my business. I'm going to charge what I want. What are you going to charge per What's It, AJ? But AJ, you paid me more. $25 per What's It. Okay. And we see AJ and Kelly a little ways down the line at the What's It convention. And they're discussing What's It with each other, and they say, What's it to you? And he says, What's it to you? And there's this whole back and forth. But then they find out that they have actually made the same amount of profit. What?
Now we're going to have to...
You're good. So what they find out is they have actually made the same amount of profit. So they set their functions negative 500 plus 20w equal to negative 700 plus 25w. Now people there are like very skeptical. They're like, really? The same amount? Like, didn't you guys invest for different amounts and don't you guys sell for different amounts? So somebody challenges you to, do the math. And you're like, all right, fine. It's just blues. It's like, if you're talking about my ringtone, I searched blues guitar, and that has been my ringtone for years. So, to solve a system of equations, sorry, this is like super duper bright. There we go. To solve a system of equations, we want to isolate the variable. The easiest way to isolate the variable is take away there's a couple different ways. If both variables are positive, get rid of the smaller one. So if we get rid of 20w, over here we will stay positive. Stay positive. Negative 500 is now alone over here. And what would we do now if we're working towards ice? Add 700 on both sides. Ooh, crap. That's divide. Divide by 5. Yeah, that's bad. That's a 5. That's what happens when I write in Sharpie. So 40w. Wait, they've made the same amount of profit. So if we plug the w back in, what's 20 times 40? 800. So this would be $300. And then this would be, so this is how we check. Right? Let's check. Did they actually make the same amount of money? Yeah. Kelly and AJ have both made $300, and y'all missed out because you didn't want to invest in my company.
But I lost $200.
No, you didn't. You've made $300 profit. Remember, this function already took into account your loss at the beginning, your investment.
Well, let's say
So
$300 in profit. If it's profit, then I'm expecting that I'm deducting the pay I'm giving myself, and deducting the pay that I give to all my other people.
you're not paying anybody. I brought the Whatsits to you, and all you did was sell them.
Right, but I have to pay people to go sell them for me.
So, here's the deal.
So you would assume that I paid myself $200 and put a $300 profit on my business.
I feel like we're going to get into an ethics argument.
Well, here's the thing.
When we look at a system of equations, what's fun is when you have a booming voice, you can just take the conversation back. There is either one solution which on a graph would mean they intersect once, meaning they have different slopes. There might be no solution wait a minute. AJ, I'll let you do what you wanted to do. AJ wants to sell his Whatsits for $15. While Kelly stays strong at 20. Now AJ's like, well, I'm going to sell my Whatsits more easily than you. Kelly's like, yeah, but I make more money than you do. If AJ starts up $700 in debt, and Kelly starts up only $500 in debt, and AJ sells for 15 and Kelly sells for 20, like if we change this 25 down to 15, you can't solve this. Try it. If we take 15 away from both sides, or 15W, sorry, I should be particular.
W would be a negative, wouldn't it?
You guys know what we're going to do here. If we add 500 to both sides, yes. Yeah, 40, right? Negative 40. So at negative 40, Kelly has as much debt as AJ does, but there's no actual solution for profit here. But wait, we still have a solution, right? This still counts as a solution, even though it's back in time, right? This still counts as a solution. The only way you get no solution is actually, I'm going to make this red because it's pretty important.
Same slope, different starting point.
Same slope.
So if me and AJ both sold for $20, but he started with his $700 deal and I started with my $500 deal, we would never intersect. I would always have more
Way to steal my thunder, Kelly. If we came back here and AJ said, actually, I'm going to use Kelly's price instead, and we change this to 20W, and we subtract Kelly, we're not in percussion class, and we subtract 20W from both sides, we would get negative 700 is equal to negative 500, and that's just not true. So when you have same slope and different starting point, which is y-intercept, right? They will never cross. Kelly and AJ can never make the same amount of money. Ben, get distracted by those posters later. Come back in here at some other point and get distracted by those later. Now, if I gave Kelly and AJ, right, AJ comes back to me and he's like, Mr. Hudson, this isn't fair. I want the same deal you gave Kelly. I'm going to sell Whatsits for the same price. I want the same starting cost. And I'm a nice guy. So I say, all right, you can have the same deal. Kelly and AJ, that's pretty interesting, will have infinitely many solutions. Every time they sell the same number of Whatsits, they'll have the same number of profit. Right? So every time. So what that means, if we have infinitely many solutions, is same slope and same y-intercept. Same slope and same y-intercept. And that is our Whatsit story. Not really story, situation. All right, so with the rest of this time, I want you guys working on the unit test. So you can ask me questions as you go if you feel the need to, like, hey, wait, I forget like what this exactly means. So for those of you in, I got to get colors right, blue group, it's probably Wednesday morning right now for you guys. You should now go over to your Khan Academy and work on the unit test, right? I don't know if I'll actually be able to come around and take questions from you guys, right now, or if you'll have to get with me later, I'll explain what I'm doing right now in a second. So, Blue Group Math 8 people, go work on your unit test now. Thank you very much.